From political satires to bone-tickling narratives of a middle-class lifestyle, stand-up comics have piping hot content for one and all. Papa CG, one of the most celebrated Indian origin stand-up comedian, talks about the rising culture of stand-up comedy in India and around the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is number 5. The nature of the profession is that there is no straight or direct path. The culture is made up of the thousands of comedians who are a part of that circuit. And it is such a subjective profession, it is such an individualistic profession that the beauty is that the culture cannot be encapsulated with one statement. You know, there are different people who are doing stand-up, who are doing sketch, who are doing improv, somebody is doing political stuff, there's web series, there's talk shows. So I don't think there is a specific line, but what is wonderful to see is how it is growing and the fact that there is room for every single kind of comedian because we are such a large country. Our regional comedy is booming and that is also wonderful to see. So the only thing I can say is it's booming and we will do even better if we have audiences who come out and support comedians in their early phases. One of the joys of doing stand-up is to go to different countries and try and understand what makes an audience stick. You can't generally use one brush to paint and say this is what an audience is like, but there are some broad analogies I have sometimes used. So in the US it's a little bit like the McDonald's of comedy. It's like fast food, it's, you know, here's a joke, here's a joke, here's a joke. In the UK, where I've done about 700 shows, it's a part of their culture, so it's a little bit like fine dining. You can tell a 3-minute story and the audience has the patience to wait for a punchline at the end of that. In Southeast Asia, audiences are quite polite. So you have to be a little aggressive and in their face and interact and say, that was funny, laugh or clap, you know, and then it's sort of. With India, English language stand-up is slightly different because all over the world it's a very grassroots art form, anti-establishment, anti-elite. In India, English language stand-up is performed for the elite. So you're almost coming at it from a slightly different angle. But I will say this, and because I've done a lot of shows in India, people often say, oh, you know, Indians don't have a sense of humor. I have been doing stand-up comedy professionally in India for the last 12 years, and that is as much evidence as you need that Indians do have a sense of humor and they're willing to pay for it as well. See, the beauty about stand-up comedy is they say that humor is like a rubber sword. You can make a point without drawing any blood. And I think it was John Lennon who said, he says, if you're going to take on the system, he said, never resort to violence. Because violence they know how to deal with. But what they don't know how to deal with is non-violence and humor. So humor can be a very powerful way to get a message across because it's also a form of communication that is entertaining and engaging. So people are able to digest it. I mean, we live in a world of limited attention spans, 140 characters. So humor is able to get that message across clearly and fast. So it's a powerful medium that can be used for all of this. I get almost all of my content from my life experience, from things I have gone through, things I have seen, and my opinions and viewpoints on the same. The only message for the upcoming enthusiasts of stand-up comedy, 2 or 3 things. One, have a really thick skin. It's a long journey. And 2, just try and find your own voice. Don't try and you can only be a second best Chris Rock or George Carlin or Veer Das or Zakir Khan. Be the best version of you, and that's what's important.